Imagine waking up each morning in a life that feels familiar, but never quite the same. One day, your dog has brown fur. The next, it's black. Your apartment feels reversed. Your phone contacts are slightly off. And your job, completely different. This isn't a dream. This is Ava's life, caught between two realities. And now, the walls are beginning to collapse. Ava never told anyone at first. How could she? No one wants to admit that the world around them keeps shifting like sand. But for Ava, the changes weren't in her head. She lived them, felt them, remembered both versions. And the deeper she searched for the truth, the more terrifying the answer became. It all started one quiet Monday. Ava woke up to a normal morning. Coffee brewing, dog at her feet, work emails waiting. Only, her golden retriever, Max, was gone. In his place stood Luna, a black Labrador. Ava laughed at first, thought she was groggy, but as she scrolled through photos on her phone, every memory had Luna. No sign of Max. Same apartment, same city, different dog. The rest of the week brought more confusion. Her coffee mug was red instead of blue. Her apartment layout subtly changed. Her couch faced the opposite wall. Her favorite cafe across the street. It didn't exist anymore. She asked friends about it. They looked at her like she was joking. Then came the job shift. One morning, she was a senior designer in Seattle. The next, a third-grade teacher in Austin. She even had different coworkers, different commutes, and different memories, memories that felt just as real as the ones from the day before. At first, Ava wondered if she had a condition, something psychological, but it wasn't forgetfulness, it was clarity. She remembered both lives with full detail. Her body, her thoughts, her routines, changing every time she slept. Ava tried ignoring it, but deep down, she knew something was wrong. Desperate for answers, Ava turned to documentation. She started keeping a journal, recording everything from what she wore to what brand of cereal she ate. She hid objects in drawers, left notes for herself, and set voice memos on her phone before sleeping. The next morning, the voice memos were gone. Some replaced with silence, others sounded off, as if spoken in someone else's voice. Her notes were moved. One had different handwriting. A pair of earrings she hid in her closet turned up in the fridge. Nothing made sense. In Seattle, her therapist diagnosed her with dissociation. In Austin, her friend Ravi, a physicist, offered another theory. Ava might be slipping between parallel timelines. A glitch, a collapse, or something else entirely. Encouraged, Ava ran tests. She changed her hair before sleeping, wrote code words on her wrist, hid money in fake books. The next morning, results varied, but every time, something proved the world had shifted. She began noticing people she only knew in one life showing up in the other. A neighbor she remembered from Austin walked past her in Seattle. Her phone glitched, showing two different time zones at once. Her memories blurred. One evening, she couldn't recall if she'd already lived the day or not. She wasn't just visiting these realities anymore. She was becoming a part of both. And then the boundaries started breaking. It wasn't a clean switch anymore. The two lives bled into each other. Ava's closet had clothes from both timelines. Her kitchen had duplicate utensils. One night, she heard two versions of her dog barking at once. Her phone rang with a call from husband, Austin, but she was living in Seattle, and single. Her memories began overlapping in real time. At a grocery store, she recognized two cashiers, both from different lives. They greeted her like strangers. She couldn't tell which reality she was in. Her journals became impossible to organize. One page spoke of teaching children. The next detailed a design presentation, both written in her own hand. And her reflection, her face, began to shift slightly from one day to the next. Older, then younger. A scar appeared above her eyebrow that she didn't remember getting. Everything was colliding. The truth hit her like a wave. She was no longer switching between lives. She was living them both, at the same time. One night, Ava felt it. A tear, a final break. She fell asleep knowing something was coming, and she was right. She awoke not in Seattle, not in Austin, but in a blank white room. No windows, no doors, no time, just light, endless, blinding white light. Her phone had no signal. The date was erased. Her contacts were blank. She tried to scream, but no sound came. She looked in the mirror and saw, not herself, but a version. An echo. A woman shaped like Ava, but hollow behind the eyes. She wasn't in her world anymore. She wasn't in any world. She had fallen through the cracks. Time passed. Or maybe it didn't. Shadows flickered in the corners of the room. A voice whispered things in a language she didn't recognize. Then silence again. Was this a third reality? A dimension between two timelines? Or was it punishment for chasing something not meant to be understood? She walked. She called out. But all she heard was the sound of her own breathing, and something else breathing with her. And then, she knew. Something had pulled her here. And it wasn't done yet. What if tonight, you go to sleep, and wake up somewhere else? A life that feels familiar, but isn't yours. Could you tell the difference? Let us know your theory in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more chilling, reality-bending stories, only on Mystic Whispers.